After a bad breakup many years ago, I was left homeless. I ended up living in a room for a few years, and I quite literally begged this country to help me. Basingstoke Council, I asked them for social housing. I had no money, I had nothing. I had not a single penny to my name because I was being financially raped by the Child Support Agency. I did a video on that, a live stream with Andy the Gabby Cabby, if you want to go and watch it. Great channel, great guy, good friend. So go and have a look. And I was turned down every time. In the end, I was given a list, and I was at the bottom of that list. On the top of that list were migrants, single mothers, the disabled, which is fair enough. But I was at the bottom of that list after serving my country. Now, I joined the army, not for glory, but to escape poverty. I was staring a life of failure, misery, abject misery in North Wales if I hadn't pulled my trousers up and signed my life away. That was going to be my life in North Wales. Abject misery with nothing. So I did. Had a great career. Only 8 years, I know. A couple of stripes. I was nothing special. I did my time. I enjoyed it and I left. And made a good life for myself until that happened. But there we go. That's what it's like. That's life. But I've been thinking recently, would I join up now and fight for my country, the state it's in, the way it's treated me after what I gave it? No, I don't think so. I wouldn't, unless you're some woke brat, then I join up now, because the army is riddled with the cancer of political correctness. I mean, let's face it, nothing in this country works at all, and it's because of politics. The country's a shithole, it really is. The only thing worth fighting for in this country now is your children, and that's it. And I'm going to call it, all right? Putin isn't going to invade the UK. If he does, I'll eat my hat and yours with some HP sauce on the side as well, and I will eat it with relish. I'll enjoy it. But there's a lot of saber rattling and a lot of war drum banging in Europe, particularly in the EU. They love this whole Ukraine-Russia thing. Oh, people like Guy Verhofstadt, the guy who looks like the demon headmaster in Brussels, he's been frapping off like hell because he loves that shit. If he could, he would tax every European to poverty, beggary and buggery to fund Zelensky and the Ukraine. You know it and I know it, it's true. And they're even scaring their own people in Sweden. They recently broadcast that the country needs to prepare for an imminent invasion from Russia. I mean, what can I say? They're telling their people to buy survival kits, learn how to make fires, get medical kits, torches, radios, dynamo radios, not the ones you wind up. Oh, you know, that's very appropriate, isn't it? And just prepare for the apocalypse. And it's happening here. Chief of General Staff, don't know his name, don't care, because they're all idiots if you ask me. I've dealt with army officers, and I'd say out of 10, you get one good one. You get one good one who deserves that commission, who deserves that pip and crown, or sword and baton, depending on what rank you are. And that's that. You know, one of them, he joined the prison service with me from my old regiment, and I won't say what prison he was, but he was a massive prick in the army. And then he became a prison governor immediately because of his degree and his army officer status, and then he fucked up big time. Nobody would say what he'd do. That was a big, massive hush-up operation. And then they moved him on to govern an open prison. Go figure. Where was I? Oh, yes, sabre rattling here in the UK. Now, this Chief of General Staff has said, well, you know, because of what's coming up with Russia and the war games we're having with Europe at the moment, I think we should conscript because there are not enough people in the army. Well, why is that? Now, along with every other establishment in this country, it has been riddled by the cancer of political correctness. I left the mob in 2005, thank God, and it was starting to creep in back then. But now it's like a pandemic. I remember a video by the then Sergeant Major of the British Army. We didn't have that rank when I was in. It was just a regimental Sergeant Major or a garrison Sergeant Major or a guard Sergeant Major. But now you got a Sergeant Major of the whole army, which is like an American thing, isn't it? Anyway, and he stood there, arms crossed, and he said, if you're a racist, get out. We don't want you. The best soldier is an arsehole. He's a complete and utter bastard. The best soldier is a racist. He is a twat of the highest order. He is a scumbag. And he is everything you don't like about a person. A terrible human being. But he's a good soldier and he will defend you and your country. That's a fact. Believe you me, guys, when I say if you've got someone like Owen Jones stood on a wall with a rifle to guard this country, then you might as well prepare the surrender papers straight away. And then there was that ridiculous extreme right-wing indicator sheet of paper which adorned every platoon wall in company lines, and it said things like, if someone is patriotic, if they like the Union flag, if they are proud of British history, then they're a right-wing extremist. Point them out and we'll kick them out. And then there was the DEI, the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion, Multiculturalism, Diversity Drive, which hasn't worked. Those people, they don't like this country, they hate it despite being here. So if you think you're going to recruit them to fight for you, think again. Oh my God, whoever came up with that idea needs sacking. And so by villainising and demonising every Caucasian as some far-right Nazi racist and excluded them from joining the armed forces, this is why you now have a massive shortage. And if you think you're going to conscript them and force them to fight your war for you, you've got another thing coming. They won't come willingly, and neither will I. And anyway, it's not the Russians you should be worrying about. Something very bad is happening at the south coast at this very, very moment, and it's coming in droves. It's coming in their thousands. It's coming and it's not being stopped. And if my country asked me to join up again and go and stand a post on the south coast to keep this country safe, then I'd think about it. And I'd think about it only because the only assets we have in this country worth fighting for and saving are our very own children. So there we go. My establishment hates me. The authorities hates me. The mainstream media hates me and lies to me and tries to make me pay for it via the TV licence fee so that people like Gary Lineker can go on Twitter to hate me. I am at the bottom of the list for healthcare, social housing and everything else. So why the hell should I fight for this country now? You tell me. And my advice for Army top brass is this. If the shit really does hit the fan and you're desperate for soldiers, have a look at that extreme right-wing indicator chart and have a damn good rethink about the sort of people you want to defend our country. And that's that. I'll leave it with you. Change my mind. Those in the comments. I know people would disagree, but there we go. Free speech and all that. And I prefer my viewers to think for themselves. And there we go. I'm Paz49. Thanks for listening. And until the next time, Roger Trout.